Good morning. Good morning, Africa. Good morning. Oyo State, good morning. Ibadan, how are you? Welcome to this side of time. Welcome to the class of politics, the class of history, the class of power. The program is State Affairs on Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. I am Edmondo Bilo. A former governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, granted an interview to Channels Television during the week. I want us to reflect on that interview. Are you there? Fayose on Channels, but this is Splash 105.5 FM. The Integrity Station.
If you respect me, you get all the values and support of Fayose. If you disrespect me, you get the downside for Fayose. I'm not a politician that is taken for granted.
So this is a vindictive move against Seyi Makinde because of your anger on what he did.
Who takes it takes a woman's child away from him. He becomes the enemy of that woman immediately. Never in your life take the child, the baby of a woman from her. She will become a lion immediately. Even if she's a dog, she will become a lion. I became a lion against Seyi Makinde when he messed up.
Are you happy?
Very happy. And may I say to you, Sheyi, again, in the coming of your election, we will work against you.
You work against?
My name is
What is your interest in?
I just told you how Makinde destroyed the Southwest, PDP, took all my structures, did a lot that is not fair in party politics. When we're in politics, we are meant to be fair, respect each other. I'm a former governor, he's the serving governor. Courtesy demands you giving us our own right of way. If you want to take my head, I will take your head.
So you are going to put fire in Makinde's house?
Fire is already there.
I've started. So you work against you have the capacity to.
Time will tell, sir.
You were once doing business in Ibadan, and those were years ago.
Makinde was a small boy at the time. I am almost, with all due respect to him as a governor, I'm almost 11 years older than Makinde, about 10 years. Makinde was a small boy at that time. Remember when he said he made his first million? I didn't make million, but I was consistent in life and doing well. But this coming election, I was born in Ibadan. I was born at Oluyoro Hospital in Ibadan. My father used to live at Isaleusi. The current Olubadan was a colleague. We are all working together, including the Olubadan, including all Makinde's enemies. The Yoruba man says, too many enemies will destroy a wise man. He has a long walk with us.
What offense did he commit?
They say we are politicians, we are not journalists. Makinde has taken the land of the Otigbale Osha. Makinde has taken the land, I don't know how they call it,
of the gods.
Of the gods. The gods are hungry, and the gods will take the lands back from him.
He's running for president. He has a greater.
That was his undoing. He has a right to contest for president, but you don't betray trust. We are all members of the G5. I tell you again, Makinde ti gbale Osha. Osha ma gbale padà lọ́wọ́ Makinde. The elections are not far away. We'll get there.
But his people love him.
Congratulations.
He's won election back to
My
back.
people loved me.
He delivered.
My candidate never won. Sheung, when you see crowd, don't measure it as a result of an election. When they clap for you, don't imagine it as victory. Politics, the more you see, the more you look, the less you see.
So you declare a political war against Makinde?
I have no war.
What if it defeats you?
Time will tell. And I want to say to you, I stand here. Most of the times I've come to your station, whatever I said has come to pass. Nobody could have defeated me with votes. When it was time to take votes, they took it by storm. And there was nothing I could do. Makinde ti gbale Usha. Usha gbale lọ́wọ́ Makinde. My name is Ayofahanse.
Here we go.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live. Stay tuned.
That is Ayo Fayose on Channels Television. The interviewer is Seun Okimbalue. Interesting, is it not? Okay, let's reflect. This is reflection time. And it's always good to reflect. Fayose makes the point, who takes a woman's child becomes the enemy of that woman. Did Seyi Makinde take Fayose's child? Or is Fayose talking about Tinubu's child? Perhaps Seyi Makinde took the child of the Olubadan. Seyi Makinde, whose child did you take? Fayose says, I became a lion against Seyi Makinde when he messed up. Did Seyi Makinde mess up? Governor Makinde, did you mess with Fayose? Fayose says, in the coming Oyo election, we will work against him. Makinde took all my structures in Southwest PDP. Fayose, are your structures the child? How did Makinde take your structures from you? Does that mean that Makinde is more powerful? Fayose says, if you want to take my head, I will take your head. Who wants to take Fayose's head? Is Seyi Makinde a head taker? Is Seyi Makinde going for Tinubu's head too? Then Fayose comes down and makes the point. The current Olubadan was my colleague. We are working together, including all Makinde enemies. He has a long walk with us. The current Olubadan is my colleague. We are working together. Working together. Olubadan is working with Fayose. Is Olubadan neutral in this politics? Hey, come. Can Ladoja be neutral? Ladoja is politics. Politics is Ladoja. Olubadan is just a title. It is about the character of the man who occupies the office. And the character of the man is politics. Who said Olubadan should not play politics? Ladoja is politics. Ladoja is Olubadan. Olubadan is therefore politics. Leave the Olubadan alone. By the way, the position of the Olubadan is the position of power. If the Olubadan cannot use his position of power to influence politics, why should he be Olubadan? Take note. Ladoja is politics. Politics is Ladoja. Ladoja is Olubadan. Therefore, Olubadan is politics. Fayose says Makinde has taken the lands of the gods. He has a right to contest for president, but you don't betray trust. Makinde, which trust are you betraying? Did you sign a pact with Tinubu when you were part of the G5? Perhaps Makinde is telling us something he is not saying. Did Makinde sign a pact with Tinubu when he was part of the G5? And by now declaring interest in Tinubu's position, Makinde has gone against the pact. Is that what Fayose is saying? What is the theme of this class? The theme of this class is Seyi Makinde the weapon fashioned against Tinubu in Yorubaland? Is Seyi Makinde the weapon fashioned against Tinubu in Yorubaland? That is the theme of this class. Is this just about Oyo State? Remember, Makinde talked about Operation Wet here when he was warning. Makinde talked about Operation Wet here. Look at another point that Fayose made. He says, nobody would have defeated me with votes. But when it was time to take vote, they took it by storm, and there was nothing I could do. You remember that time when Fayose cried? He says, nobody would have defeated me with votes. But when it was time to take vote, they took it by storm, and there was nothing I could do. So it's not telling Seyi Makinde they will take it by storm, whether he likes it or not. And Seyi Makinde is telling them, remember Operation Wet here. Can you see where that Makinde statement came from? Makinde, Fayose is saying, whether Makinde is popular or not, they will take Oyo State election by storm. The way Buhari and Fayemi took Ekiti by storm, and there was nothing he could do. So Makinde will have nothing to do. And Makinde is reminding them, remember, there was Operation Wet here in the 1960s. It can happen again. Interesting time. Interesting time. You remember when Fayose cried? Did you? That was the storm that he could do nothing about. Listen.
I am in pain. I am in severe pain. I can't touch this neck anymore. If anything happens to me, the Inspector General of Police should be held accountable.
Here we go.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live. Stay tuned.
I am in pain. I am in severe pain. I can't touch this neck anymore. If anything happens to me, the Inspector General of Police should be held accountable.
Here we go.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live. Stay tuned.
Is Fayose saying to Makinde, you will be in pain? You know, Fayose cried, and he's now telling us he cried because they took that election from him by storm. And he has sworn that Oyo State election will be taken by storm. So what do you think is going on? Okay, let's start the discussion. Call my number. Call me on WhatsApp. What do you think about the point Fayose is making? Call 080 18449. That's the number to call. 080 18449. That's the number to call to join the discourse. They will take Oyo State election by fire, by force. Is that a point Fayose is making? That perhaps people should not bother to go and vote. Let's see. He said it's not about popularity. So if it's not about popularity, what is it about? What is it about? Let's listen to that part of his speech. Perhaps I didn't hear him well.
He's running for president. He has a greater.
That was his undoing. He has a right to contest for president, but you don't betray trust. We are all members of the G5. I tell you again, Makinde ti gbale Osha. Osha ma gbale padà lọ́wọ́ Makinde. The elections are not far away. We'll get there.
But his people love him.
Congratulations.
He's won election back to
My
back.
people loved me.
He delivered.
My candidate never won. Sheung, when you see crowd, don't measure it as a result of an election. When they clap for you, don't imagine it as victory. Politics, the more you see, the more you look, the less you see.
So you declare a political war against Makinde.
I have no war.
What if he defeats you?
Time will tell. And I want to say to you, I stand here. Most of the times I've come to your station, whatever I said has come to pass. Nobody could have defeated me with votes. When it was time to take votes, they took it by storm. and there was nothing I could do. Makinde ti gbalẹ̀ òòṣà, òòṣà gbalẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ Makinde. My name is Seyi.
Here we go.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live. Stay tuned.
Okay, JK Olashupon is on the line. Good morning, JK.
Good morning, Edmond.
Good morning.
How's your weekend going?
Yeah, the radio man is good.
They're very good. I just said I should have my voice concerning what our brother, because Fayose is our brother from the kitchen. What he's saying now, Fayose has suddenly turned himself to be Edmond, we call something Omorogun in Yorubaland. That stick that we used to turn Amala, he has suddenly become Omorogun. Omorogun, do you know how they use Omorogun? Omorogun, they will pick Omorogun, put it inside hot water, and he will not be able to come back. Anywhere they send him, they send Omorogun will go. So Fayose has suddenly turned to Omorogun in the Battleland, or let me say in Oyo State, because I don't know his vested interest in your politics. The other time he came from Ekiti to come and greet Olubadan concerning the happenings in Ogbomosho, those people that are still in the jungle up to today. But let me tell you that in Ekiti State, there has been an abduction in Ekiti State, where the 15 people were abducted. And up to today, those people, they are still in the jungle. But he now came to Ibadan to tell us that maybe Makinde and his government has orchestrated that against Tinubu. Is he telling us that Bao has orchestrated that against Tinubu? Because that one has happened about 3 weeks before that of Oyo State. And he said nothing about that one. But he was so concerned about what is happening in Oyo State. Okay, if he is now saying that he wants to take any election by storm, let me tell him that he has forgotten. Governor passes governor, Mr. Edmond. When you are I'm from Ekiti State, let me tell you that's the reality. But governor passes governor. When you are a governor of Ekiti State, comparing yourself to governor of Oyo State, you are deceiving yourself. Because by the time the politics of Oyo and Okeogun enters Ekiti, it will level up. You haven't touched Ibadan and Ibarakwa. He's talking nonsense.
All right.
Let me say it openly on radio. Let him know that Oyo politics or the 2027 election is not a staggered election like that of Ekiti, where anybody will be able to gang up against anybody. Popularity will tell. Let us see what happens. Thank you very much.
All right. Good morning.
It's not a standard election like that of Ekiti, where anybody will be able to gang up against anybody. Popularity will tell.
Okay, let me advise again. Once you call and I pick your call, pay attention to your phone, not to your radio. Since I'm not broadcasting from Ibadan, I am using internet. So there will be delay. If you are using the radio to monitor your call, you will still be listening to what somebody had said. So once you call, just watch your phone. It will begin to read. Then you speak to me. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello. Good morning, sir, Mr. Edmond. My name is Inyobo, calling from Ibadan. I am beginning to see Fayose as a weapon fashioned against Oyo State. And if we continue like this, if permission is easily granted to people that have free will to attack a state from another state, I'm sorry, Nigeria will soon be out of extinction. Nigeria will soon become a former country. Because we can't continue like this. I will relate this with the kidnapping in Oyo State. I'm considering the timing Seyi Makinde declared for president and the kidnapping of that state. But I won't say anything. But I'll keep it to myself. But there is something concerning that. The timing Seyi Makinde declared for president and the kidnapping of those innocent children and their teachers. But I won't say anything.
You won't say anything, but you have said something already.
I won't say more than that.
That's what you say. I won't say more than that.
Yes, I won't say more than that. So they should question Ayo Fayose.
But are you saying that Fayose, hello, are you saying Fayose, as a political leader, does not have a right to comment on the political affairs of Oyo State?
That comment is not from Oyo State. Ayo Fayose is not from Oyo State. If you want to comment reasonably. Ayo Fayose comment is a threat to our state, Oyo State. It's a threat to Oyo State. His comment is threat, so he should comment reasonably. That is my take.
All right.
Good morning, Mr. Edmond.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes.
Thank you. Fayose, they are saying you should leave Oyo State alone. Is Seyi Makinde the weapon fashioned against Tinubu in Yorubaland? Is this all about the 2027 election?
No.
Hello, good morning.
This is Ibadan. You see, when we have less educated leaders, when we have leaders whose stomach is their reason for coming into politics, leaders whose vision are blood, leaders whose head is down, that is the kind of comments Ayo Fayose will be making. I have read a lot about him, and I'm believing that if there will be progress in Nigeria, what happened in Ghana must also happen in Nigeria.
What happened in Ghana? Hello. Now I want us to listen to this statement keenly. Let's listen. I want to know what Fayose meant by this. Taken by storm.
He's running for president. He has a greater.
That was his undoing. He has a right to contest for president, but you don't betray trust. We are all members of the G5. I tell you again, Makinde ti gbale Osha ma gbale padà lọ́wọ́ Makinde. The elections are not far away. We'll get there.
But his people love him.
Congratulations.
He's won election back.
My people loved me.
He delivered.
My candidate never won. Sheung, when you see crowd, don't measure it as a result of an election. When they clap for you, don't imagine it as victory. Politics, the more you see, the more you look, the less you see.
So you declare a political war against Makinde?
I have no war.
What if he defeats you?
Time will tell. And I want to say to you, I stand here. Most of the times I've come to your station, whatever I said has come to pass. Nobody could have defeated me with votes. When it was time to take votes, they took it by storm. And there was nothing I could do. Makinde ti gbale Osha gbale lọ́wọ́ Makinde. My name is Ayo Fayose.
Here we go.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live. Stay tuned.
So you're going to put fire in Makinde's house.
Fire is already there. I've started.
So you work against him. You have the capacity to.
Time will tell, sir.
You were once doing business in Ibadan. And those were years ago.
Makinde was a small boy at the time. I am almost, with all due respect to him as a governor, I'm almost 11 years older than Makinde, about 10 years. Makinde was a small boy at that time. You remember when he said he made his first million? I didn't make million, but I was consistent in life and doing well. But this coming election, I was born in Ibadan. I was born at Oluyoro Hospital in Ibadan. My father used to live at Isaleusi. The current Olubadan was a colleague. We are all working together, including the Olubadan, including all Makinde's enemies. The Yoruba man says, too many enemies will destroy a wise man. He has a long walk with us.
What offense did he commit?
They say we are politicians, we are not journalists. Makinde has taken the land of the Otigbale Osha. Makinde has taken the land, I don't know how they call it,
of the gods.
Of the gods. The gods are hungry, and the gods will take the lands back from him.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Benga. I'm calling from Limerick in Ireland.
All right, Mr. Benga.
Yeah, I think it is quite unfortunate for somebody like Fayose to be making this kind of very harsh and negative comments on the TV. It seems to me like he has a personal grudge against Seyi Makinde. Now, if you have a personal grudge against somebody, you shouldn't bring that to the people of your state shouldn't be part of that. And I think the problem started from when they were trying to, decide who will be the PDP leader for the Southwest and all. And after that time, Seyi Makinde was the only PDP governor in the whole of the Southwest. And, the way they make their rule is the governor is the leader of the party. I think that's where their problem started from. So saying that Seyi Makinde is Igbaliosha, there is also a proverb in Yoruba that the king, the supremacy of the king covers the Orisha, that is the gods and the people. So Seyi Makinde is the king of Oyo State now, and his supremacy covers even the Orisha that he's talking about. Fayose is not from Oyo State. Fine, you might be born in Oyo State. Anybody can be born in Oyo State. But that doesn't mean that you should not, eat up the polity and now trying to incite people against the governor. The last time he came out, he was saying that he think the governor might be the one to orchestrate the kidnapping of the people in Ogbomoso. That is a very, very, very. I don't expect it from somebody but I'm not surprised anyway. Fayose has turned himself to a content creator of recent. So because if not, after the time when Fayose was a governor, where was Wike? Who was Wike after that time when Fayose was a governor? But now you can see that he has turned himself to a blab dog of Wike. Anywhere that one directed him to, that's where he's just blabbing and, always trying to eat up the policy and all. But the Oyo State people are very, very political, wise. They are politically wise. And the Oyo State politics is different from any other state. The whole of Ekiti is not up to just 2-3 local governments in Oyo State. So you cannot say because you're a governor in Ekiti State, you want to come and come head to head with somebody that is being a governor of Oyo State is like being a governor of Ekiti in 15 or 5 times. You understand? So and the diversity in Oyo State, you cannot compare it to what you have in Ekiti. So that you are a governor in Ekiti does not mean that you have the political spread and the political sagacity of a governor in Oyo State. So he should mind himself and face whatever is happening in Ekiti State. He should not come to his tentacles. Did not reach Oyo State. Did not reach Ibadan. You understand? So
he said he is working with Yorubaland.
He's just all that. He's just trying to incite people against the governor. Every one of us can see. Although I'm not in Nigeria, but I have my family in Nigeria, and I came to Nigeria not quite long. You can see what the governor is doing in Oyo State. Okay, he's working with Olubado. So because you are working with, is he saying that the Olubado is against the governor?
That's the point.
So
that's the point he's making.
He's just trying to incite people because he knows that people love the Olubado. Because everybody was happy when the Olubado became the Olubado. Everybody supported it. He's just trying to incite people against the governor. That's just what he's trying to do.
Right.
And the time will tell whether he is the supreme. Because as the governor, no matter how small a governor is, his supremacy even, fine. We Yorubas, we respect the elders, but forget that Olubado is a former governor. If Seyi Makinde decide today that he doesn't want the Olubado there again, he will remove him. The Olubado is under a local government chairman. So the supremacy of the governor covers the Olubado himself, covers the Orisha that he is even talking about. If he turns himself to Orisha,
all right.
The governor's supremacy covers that.
Thank you.
So you should understand that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The program is State Affairs on Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. Stay tuned. Politics and power. Is politics not a beautiful game? Who wants to play politics? Is Fayose not making politics interesting? Who doesn't want to play politics? 2027 election. If you check the Punch newspaper, Obi, PDP reject NDCD registration. Party set to appeal. Interesting. Police handed my wife to Kaduna mob. Watched them burn her alive. Let me read this story. 42-year-old mechanic Aliyu Muhammad shares his story with the Punch newspaper. He talks about the pain of losing his wife to an irate mob, alleges that police complicity in her death, and speaks about the emotional toll the tragedy has taken on his family. This is a sad headline. Police handed my wife to Kaduna mob, watched them burn her alive. I'll take my time to read this story. He said at exactly 11:21 a.m., I received a call from her phone. When I answered, the man was speaking. He asked if I knew the owner of the phone, and I told him it belongs to my wife. He then asked whether I knew what was happening to her. I replied I didn't. He told me that some women had accused her of attempting to traffic children, but added it was only an allegation that had not been confirmed. I explained where my wife had told me she was going that morning, and he confirmed that she had given them the same explanation. The man asked whether I knew anyone who could come immediately to the house where she was being held. I mentioned my friend Suleiman, who owns a block industry and is also a village head. He said he knew him. I immediately called Suleiman and informed him about what had happened. He rushed there and later told me that more than 300 people were gathered outside the house. He also said he had contacted the divisional police officer to deploy officers to my wife so my wife could be safely taken to the police station. So the interviewer asked, "What happened after the man spoke with you?" I'm reading from the Punch newspaper. After speaking with him, I called my elder sister who lives in Mararaban in Jos and informed her of the situation. She asked whether she could go to the village head's house or the police station. I tried calling my friend again but couldn't reach him. I then called my elder brother who was at Kawo Motor Park and informed him of the development. He asked me to come immediately so that we could travel to Mararaban Jos together. While on our way on a motorcycle, we ran into heavy traffic near the bridge. We got off the motorcycle and continued on foot. As we approached, I saw smoke rising in the distance. Shortly afterwards, my second wife, who was crying, called me and told me they've killed her. I asked whether the mob had entered the police station or whether she had been outside the station, but the call ended before she could respond. I wanted to rush to the scene, but people reframed me and warned me that if the mob realized I was her husband, they might kill me as well. A friend later took me home. About 1.5 hours later, another friend informed me that the commissioner of police had arrived at the scene and was asking for me. That was when I saw my wife's burnt body lying on the ground, covered with leaves. So the interviewer asked the man, "Your wife was said to have been rescued earlier by the police based on what you were told. So how did the mob get hold of her again after she had been taken to the police station?" So the man replies, "My other sister was with my wife at the police station after she was rescued. While they were inside the station, the divisional police officer came in and asked where the suspect was. My sister replied that my wife was not a criminal. The DPO held my wife's hand and started dragging her towards the station's gate. My sister asked where he was taking her and pleaded with him not to take her outside because the mob would kill her. She tried to pull my wife back into the station. It is a sad story. Check the Punch. Read the story." It is Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. Fayose has told us what is going on behind the scene. You know, Fayose tells his own truth bluntly. I became a lion against Seyi Makinde when he messed up. Fayose has spoken, and his words are interesting. You want to join the discussion?
Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning again. Just I want to add another. If Makinde has determined to play the pattern of Fayose's politics, by now Fayose will not be able to enter Ibadan, even Oyo State in general, because he will not allow it. Somebody who wanted to go the way he went when in his first term, he was fetching water for the people of Ado-Ekiti. That was his introduction to politics. Somebody who has wished to do some things like that, he deliberately blocked it. That what he did, he will not allow anybody to do it to hijack power from him. That is it. They use his former PA, Lere Olayinka, the one he sold to Wike now. That one has been attacking Makinde and his government since. And thank God Makinde has never for once replied him. He just left him at that lower rung for him to be ranting there. So, Fayose should take note that Oyo politics is bigger than Ekiti's politics, because Ekiti cannot measure up in terms of that. Ekiti state is the only nation state in Nigeria, just speaking one language, and that is the only state. But when you enter Oyo state, you have Oke-Ogun, you have Oyo, you have Ibadan, you have Ibarapa. All these things is not that one is not as dense in Ekiti. They have only zones in Ekiti, not as dense as that of Oyo State. That is what I want to add to it.
Listen,
thank you very much,
Mr. JK.
Okay.
Fayose says running for president is Makinde's undoing. Yes. What do you think?
Yet he's talking nonsense to me, because Makinde has the right to vie for any post in Nigeria. And let me come back home. What is happening now against Seyi Makinde in terms of his presidential ambition is what is happening to Oriyomi in terms of his gubernatorial ambition in Oyo State. Because Seyi is looking at Oriyomi as if he will take part of his votes during that time. That one can cause many things. And that is what is happening to the presidency now. They are looking at things that even if Seyi Makinde is not going against the president in other states, but that of Oyo State, the president is interested.
Now
that is why they are sending. He's sending his emissaries to Oyo State now. That is the part of your emissaries, Wike and Olayinka and this our former governor Fayose.
Look at another point.
Look
at another point he made.
Okay.
The current Olubadan was my colleague. We are working together, including all Makinde's enemies.
What happened around that statement is that initially, there was this saying that Olubadan was interested in one particular candidate for your state. And Seyi Makinde is not going that way. So that one is so clear that they cannot be friends on that matter. And that is why Fayose wants to use that avenue to enter Olubadan. Look at the other time he came to Ibadan, portraying to Olubadan as if Olubadan was in grief, that somebody want to remove him. And this was a governor who put Olukere into the Oba of Ikere-Ekiti during his term. He put him he locked him for more than 2 weeks. People were begging him. And you have come here that somebody want to remove Olubadan. Weeping sentiments against somebody. So I don't believe in him.
Thank
you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, good morning. Hello. Let me make some point. Are you there? It is a statement attributed to Fayose, a former governor of Ekiti State, against Makinde, the incumbent governor of Oyo State, is a raw artifact of Nigerian political warfare. To analyze it is to dissect a specimen of power, that kind of power operating within the ecosystem of the Yoruba socio-political sphere. So to do this analysis, I will examine the nature of loyalty, legacy, and cosmic justice. And I will do this as I assess the raw calculus of power. I will look at perception. I will look at survival. Game on. It is the game of power. Who wants to join the fight? The ring is open. Come in. Let me take this call. I pick your call and you don't say a word, I'll cut off.
Hello.
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 I can hear you.
Yeah, this is Dio from Ring Group.
Yes, Mr. Dial.
Yeah. So my take on what the topic you came up with today concerning Fayose and Governor Seyi Makinde is, I'll just use a Yoruba proverb that says "Iru iro ni borun." What does that mean? Iro is a wrapper that our mothers used to wear. When they wear their traditional attire. And the borun is the one that they used to cover their neck. So what that simply means is those two materials, they are made from the same cloth. Or the difference is just that their size, the way they are cut is different. Now, these two people we are talking about, they are all the same, including Wike. They are all the same. Were they not in the same camp before? It's just that when the politics now came in, that everything now scattered, and then some people are not taking sides. Are they not all the same? Their politics are the same. Brutal politics. That's what they play. Also, the difference now is just that these two other guys, they are very blunt with what they're going to do. They say it. And then Seyi Makinde is more discreet and more cunning. He pretends. But at the core of it, their politics is the same. No, when this Fayose was talking, he said he took his Southwest structure from him. That's the PDP Southwest structure. We all remember how that happened when they went for their Southwest, whatever executive election. Then, when they all went with thugs, we saw everything on the social media, auxiliary and all these other guys that were threatening Fayose then. I'm sure Fayose too went with his own thugs. And maybe because Seyi Makinde was in power then, he had perhaps more influence, more money to control bigger troops, So they were able to overpower the Fayose troops. So now they are all coming out with how they destroyed PDP now. Because everybody has been saying it is President Tinubu that destroyed PDP. So we are now seeing they are coming out now with what they have in their secret, in their cupboard, and telling us how they destroyed PDP. Because he said he took his Southwest, we can all see when Wike also stopped, he left government. He also tried to take the national structure from Wike, but I guess Wike is more stubborn, coupled with the fact that somehow he's in bed with the new government, so he still has some powers. That is why it became difficult for him to be able to take the national structure from Wike himself. Otherwise, he would have done it. And that is the genesis of their problem. That is why PDP is destroyed today. So some people who are taking sides now are saying, Fayose is, yeah, well, we all see that they speak anyhow, they talk anyhow, no decorum, but let us not excuse Seyi Makinde himself because they are all cut from the same cloth. They are all the same. So that's my take today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. He has taken us back to Southwest politics, the PDP politics. So let's go back into that time. Fayose granted channels interview then on Makinde taking his structure. He talked about auxiliary. Let's go back to that interview on channels.
They said, Fayose, this will kill you. We are waiting for you here. We are going to kill you. This is the chairman of the road transport workers in Oyo State. These people came with Governor Makinde's convoy. If Governor Makinde, a first-time 2-year-old governor, yet to be 2-year-old governor, are parading characters like this, it simply shows the kind of people behind him.
No, but it does also speak about the character and the quality of the people in your party too, isn't it?
This is shameful for our party. I take responsibility in the 21st century. Togri is shameful for our party. And you remember I was in Ondo? These same people came to Ondo to attack me. These same people came to Ondo and I told Governor Makinde. So I'm glad the whole world is seeing this. Governor Makinde, you look quiet but deadly. Parading these people to wait for me, there were over 1,000. And they were doing this to me on the video. We'll cut your neck if you dare come there. And that was why I made up my mind. I must attend that Congress. Even if I die there, I die. So I attended the Congress. By the time I got there, Omojomolo, you interpret that to the whole world. Omojomolo, they fled. So I don't think that is right for Nigeria. It's not right for our party, and it's condemnable. If anybody wants to do election, you parade talks, 200 buses of talk. It's sad.
Here we go.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live. Stay tuned.
You see, what this gentleman, because I've seen this video, what this gentleman was saying at the time. They came to the venue. They said, Fayose, this will kill you. We are waiting for you here. We are going to kill you. This is the chairman of the road transport workers in Oyo State. These people came with Governor Makinde's convoy. If Governor Makinde, a first-time 2-year-old governor, yet to be 2-year-old governor, are parading characters like this, it simply shows the kind of people behind him. In the 21st century, Togri is shameful for our party. And you remember I was in Ondo? These same people came to Ondo to attack me. These same people came to Ondo and I told Governor Makinde. So I'm glad the whole world is seeing this. Governor Makinde, you look quiet but deadly.
Makinde looks quiet but deadly. You know, Fayose granted that interview in 2021, 5 years ago. 5 years ago. Makinde looks quiet but deadly. Is that why they are afraid of him? Is that why they cannot go to bed? Quiet but deadly. You saw the fight at the national level Makinde fought Wike. If Wike didn't have Tinubu, Makinde would have grabbed the PDP with ease. There would have been no competition. There would have been no competition. But that is politics. And now the fight is on. They are going to give Makinde a run for his money. Fayose says, who takes a woman's child away becomes the enemy of that woman. What is Fayose saying here? Fayose invokes the most ancient and immutable law of nature. That law is maternal protectiveness, the way a mother protects a child. By framing his political structures as a child, Fayose feminizes his own political structure, casting himself as a nurturing political man, defining himself as a life-giving force. Remember, the mother, Iya, is the ultimate source of legitimacy and grievance. To take her child is to commit a crime, an act that transcends policy and enters the realm of blood feud. Who takes a woman's child becomes the enemy of that woman. You see, this is a master stroke of emotional framing. Fayose declares that he is the one who has been wronged, thereby justifying his anger. Fayose is saying that Makinde is not a political leader making a rational choice. See, he says, I became a lion against Seyi Makinde when he messed up. Let's break this down. What Fayose has done here is to admit to a transformation. I mean, a change from a statesman, in quote, a change from a statesman, in quote, to a predator. I became a lion. He became a predator. So what do lions do? The lion is the king of the jungle. But when the lion is hungry, it does not reason. It just devours. This is a confession. This is a confession that the social contract is over. You see, when a political ally messes up, the civilized mask drops and the animalistic pursuit of dominance takes over. Hey, the animalistic pursuit of dominance takes over. Their claws are out. Their claws are out. They want to devour Makinde. They want to devour Makinde. The lions are out. Their claws are out. They want to devour Makinde. Who will save Makinde? Perhaps Makinde will save himself. You see, this is a declaration of a state of exception. By declaring himself a lion, Fayose is signaling to his allies and enemies that he has abandoned the fox cunning for the lion's brute force. Remember, there is a lion in Bodilum who has now moved to Aso Rock. The lion of Bodilum is now the lion of Aso Rock. And now, a lion springs up from Ekiti. So, there is the Tinubu pride of lions. Tinubu's pride of lions. Tinubu heads the pride. And Fayose is a lion in that pride. Come with me. See. When a lion beats its chest and say, "I'm a lion," you can describe it as a performative act of intimidation designed to inject fear into the system. Lions do not negotiate. Lions are hunters. Makinde, the claws are out. Who will save him? Perhaps Makinde will save himself. Remember, Makinde is deadly. Does Tinubu know that? Fayose must have told him. What about the Olubadan? Take note, the Olubadan is not neutral in this game. Did you hear me? Ladoja is politics. Politics is Ladoja. Therefore, Ladoja is the Olubadan. Therefore, the Olubadan is politics. In the coming Oyo election, we will work against him. Makinde took all my structures in Southwest PDP. That is Fayose. Wait. I want to listen to Fayose again. I want to be sure I heard him right. I want to be sure. Did I hear him right?
If you respect me, you get all the values and support of Fayose. If you disrespect me, you get the downside of Fayose. I'm not a politician that is taken for granted.
So this is a vindictive move against Seyi Makinde because of your anger on what he did.
Who takes it takes a woman's child away from him. He becomes the enemy of that woman immediately. Never in your life take the child, the baby of a woman from her. She will become a lion immediately. Even if she's a dog, she will become a lion. I became a lion against Seyi Makinde when he messed up.
And you are happy?
Very happy. And may I say to you, Shingo, again, in the coming of your election, we will work against you.
You work against?
My name is
What is your interest in?
I just told you how Makinde destroyed the Southwest, PDP, took all my structures, did a lot that is not fair in party politics. When we're in politics, we are meant to be fair, respect each other. I'm a former governor. He's the serving governor. Courtesy demands you giving us our own right of way. If you want to take my head, I will take your head.
The lions are out. Their claws are out. They want to devour Makinde. Who will save him? Perhaps Makinde will save himself. See, Fayose has hit the nail on the head, and I like him for that. He has made it clear. We know the crux of the grievance. It touches on the idea that power is a finite resource tied to land, patronage, and human networks. Makinde uprooted the trees in Fayose's political jungle and transplanted them into his own. Makinde, why did you do that? Why? Should have given him something. Now you have made him a lion. Is the Olubadan part of the lions? This is akin to a younger brother clearing the elder's farmland and claiming it as his own. Is that what Makinde did to Fayose? I thought they became chummy again when they were in G5. Is it just about the structure that annoys Fayose? I thought they had reconciled in the G5. So what happened again? Oh, why did Makinde do that to him? Poor Fayose. At least he's now a lion in Tinubu's pride. They have come for Makinde. The forest is rumbling. Who wants to join the fight? This is a brutal admission of strategic failure. Fayose admits he has been stripped of his structures, his tributaries of power. His threat to work against Makinde is not a threat of victory, it is a threat of spoiling. Since Fayose cannot win outright, he will become a spoiler, right? But the point that Fayose is making with his words is that it is better to be feared than loved. But if you cannot be feared, ensure that your enemy cannot be loved either. It is the game of power. By aligning with Makinde's local enemies, Fayose ensures that the Oyo political terrain becomes a quagmire, forcing Makinde to expend enormous resources to defend his home base while contesting a national election. Game on. Who wants to join the fight? If you want to take my head, I will take your head. I like that. If you want to take my head, I will take your head. I'll come back to that. Hey. Hear what Fayose is saying here.
Put fire in Makinde's house.
Fire is already there. I've started.
So you work against you have the capacity to.
Time will tell, sir.
You were once doing business in Ibadan, and those were years ago.
Makinde was a small boy at the time. I am almost, with all due respect to him as a governor, I'm almost 11 years older than Makinde, about 10 years. Makinde was a small boy at that time. Remember when he said he made his first million? I didn't make million, but I was consistent in life and doing well. But this coming election, I was born in Ibadan. I was born at Oluyoro Hospital in Ibadan. My father used to live at Isaleusi. The current Olubadan was a colleague. We are all working together, including the Olubadan, including all Makinde's enemies. The Yoruba man says, too many enemies will destroy a wise man. He has a long walk with us.
What offense did he commit?
They say we are politicians, we are not journalists. Makinde has taken the land of the Otigbale Osha. Makinde has taken the land, I don't know how they call it,
of the gods.
Of the gods. The gods are hungry, and the gods will take the lands back from him.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live. Stay tuned.
Makinde has taken the land of the gods. They are angry, and the guards will take back the land from him. The current Olubadan was a colleague. We are working together, including all Makinde's enemies. He has a long walk with us. You know, this invokes the power of the cabal, the secret society of the aggrieved. By name-dropping the Olubadan, the traditional ruler of Ibadanland, Fayose is not just boasting. He is invoking sacred ancestral authority. Say, come. Let me bring the voice of the Olubadan. Remember, Ladoja has always been around. That he has become Olubadan has not stopped him from being Ladoja. Ladoja has a candidate in this election. But let's go back to time so that we understand the voice of Baba. Kabiesi. Listen to Baba when Baba was in the ring himself. Let me bring you back to the PDP. Is it true that the likes of Folani don't want you there?
I don't know, and I don't think that they don't want me. I think they want me to boost their own image. Because Folani came to see me in London.
And told you?
And told me that, okay, we are expecting you in PDP. I said, yes, we are expecting me in PDP. But when we tried to join PDP, you changed the names in Abuja of members of the board and local government executive.
So he really did?
So he said, yeah, he said that, but you know, in PDP, we hijack, and a man jagbani. If you don't know what it means, we hijack things. I said, well, in accord, we don't jagba. We don't hijack. We allow people's will to prevail. I said, now that you have hijacked it, how will you feel if the party now says that they want to carry out a sane harmonization? He said, we will go to court. He said, because Oyo State is not one of the 10 states where they said that the congresses were not conclusive. And that in any case, the party has recognized our congresses, they have recognized our chairman, and has been attending the NEC meeting. So if they try to tamper with it, we will go to court. And as I told you, I don't want to turn Oyo State to another Ogun State, whereby we will be going to court. It doesn't pay. It will just cloud your thinking, and you will not be able to carry out the normal mobilization, and it will not serve the purpose of the people of Oyo State.
Here we go.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live. Stay tuned.
You know, then, Folani jagbad Baba Ladoja. Folani jagbad Baba Ladoja. Has Baba Ladoja jagbad Folani back now in the APC? You know, Folani has been quiet. Has Baba Ladoja jagbad him now? Okay, we'll come to Jagba at some point. Not today. But the point is that Ladoja is in charge in APC. Politics is beautiful. With the Olubadan in this story, it becomes a triangulated war of succession in Oyo State. It is no longer about Fayose. This was Makinde. Fayose is peripheral in this battle. This is the Olubadan's war. Don't mix it up. Don't pretend about it. Who said Olubadan cannot play politics? So Ladoja will become Olubadan and he will not play politics because it's Olubadan. When the position of Olubadan positions him as a powerful man in the game, Baba play politics. See, what we have now is a classic Yoruba political drama of the kingmaker versus the king, where the throne itself has become a weapon. The throne is always a weapon. Alaafin Adeyemi was political. The Oba of Benin is political. Why should the Olubadan not be? The Olubadan throne has become a political weapon. Very strong. The throne has become so powerful. For some time, the position of the Olubadan was weak. You now have a powerful Olubadan. And it's within his power. There's nothing Makinde can do about that. The Olubadan, Oba Rashidi Ladoja, is not a neutral traditional ruler. He is a reincarnated political warlord wearing a crown. Did you hear me? The Olubadan, Oba Rashidi Ladoja, is not a neutral traditional ruler. He is a reincarnated political warlord wearing a crown. His ascent to the throne does not signify his retirement from politics. It signifies the sacralization of his political vengeance. Oba Ladoja is expected to be above the fray, a neutral arbiter. That is for those who are idealists, not for people like me who are realists. You see, by ascending the throne, while actively sponsoring an APC candidate against Makinde's candidate, Oba Ladoja is declaring that the throne is not a departure from power, but its ultimate fortification. Kabiyesi, I greet you. The Olubadan cannot shed his political skin because his skin is the throne, and the throne is power, and power is politics. Did one Olubadan not try to tell Adedibu not to play politics? Did Adedibu listen? Because Adedibu is politics. Why Fayose attacks Makinde from the outside as a lion, Ladoja walks from the inside the city. He's trying to control the political geometry. He's Tinubu's man. Ladoja is big. He's Tinubu's man. He's Tinubu's man. The lions are out. Their claws are out. Who will save Makinde? Perhaps Makinde will save himself. Ladoja has weaponized his ascension to create a zone of impunity from which he can sponsor political opposition. I think he's entitled. He's entitled to it. In the coming Oyo election, we will work against him. Fayose tells us, with Ladoja now in the fray, Fayose's threat gains tangible military weight. Ladoja is not fighting for himself. He is feeding a candidate in this election. What about Senator Ali? We'll come to that later. You see, what is going on is the politics of the proxy. Politics of the proxy. The radio man is here. It is Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. Stay tuned. Stay cool. let me bring you this interview. An interview I had with Dr. Akin Onigmide, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. He takes us to the politics of the Third Republic, the MKO Abiola politics. We had the Jos Convention.
I was at the Jos Convention.
You saw the horse trading.
Yes.
Shehu Yaradua was influential.
He was.
Adedibu was part of the Oyo State delegation.
Yes, he led the Oyo State delegation.
What role did he play?
In all honesty and in fairness to Chief Adedibu of blessed memory, he was absolutely committed to the emergence of Chief MKO Abiola as the candidate. I remembered that I was one of those people, that were taken to the Yaradua's apartment. He told us, Tabati debe, edobale ni o. In other words, as soon as we get to Yaradua's place, all of us should prostrate. He was that, and you will imagine that when he got there, he was the first person to prostrate, in the, they said, Baba, stand up, Baba, stand up, and what have you. In fairness to him, he did everything that, people may read whatever meanings, that, but he was committed to the Abiola ticket, and he did everything possible to make sure that we got the Yaradua group, to accede to the ticket being given to Chief MKO Abiola.
How come he led Oyo State delegation? There was a Kolakbo Ishola. How come Adedibu led that delegation?
Well, at that time, you have political structures and you have leadership of the party. There are two different and separate levels of control. Chief Kolakbo Ishola was governor because Chief Adedibu, who is not a member of any ESCO, supported him. If Chief Adedibu did not support him as a party leader, it was unlikely that he was going to get the ticket or become governor. And that leadership role did not disappear by reason of his election as governor. He still continued, to defer to him, to seek his opinion, and it was a significant interface between Oyo State SDP and the national leadership of the SDP at that time. So the structure is a bit different. You have those people that are ESCO members, you have political office, but you also have leadership that was not elected. Chief Adedibu was not an elected, he didn't hold any elective office, either within the party or outside the party, but he was extraordinarily, influential on the political process.
So where were the Lam Additionals, who were also members of the SDP?
Well, as at that time, Chief Lam Additional was not the governor. All right, Chief Kolakbo Ishola was the leader of the state in terms of governance. There was even Chief Lamidi Adeshina did not oppose, the leadership of Chief Adedibu as far as party leadership, was concerned. There was unanimity because of the candidacy of Chief Abiola that all of us were following.
I've always wanted to ask, if Adedibu would lead a delegation at that level, what was it about him and politics that gave him that influence?
Well, let me make this point very clear. Many times we think that it is certificate, formal education alone that is the power of the mind. It is not so. There are people that are gifted, brilliant in their calling. They may not have all the education, in the world, but they are masters of their trade. I'll give you another parallel. The late Alhaji Olona, the business mogul from Seyi, does not have any formal education, but anybody that has anything to do with Alhaji Olona will know that he's one of the most brilliant business minds that you can, unless you don't have anything to do, with him. let's not get into the mold of thinking that understanding, intelligence, wisdom ends with people that attended school. I am confident to say that Alhaji Adedibo, on account of long political participation, he's been involved in politics since the First Republic. And he has never done any other thing except get involved in politics. He has enormous amount of experience and he has native intelligence. And he can address the immediate needs. Hey, some people say, oh, I'm all politics. What else? What politics do I expect Chief Adedibo? You expect him to go and be organizing seminars and workshops?
Here we go.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live. Stay tuned.
It is Splash 105.5 FM, the integrity station. Fayose said they would take it by storm. They would take it by storm, by fire, by force. And Seyi Makinde reminds them of Operation Wet here. Okay, I want to bring in Dr. Kayode Fayemi here. Because Fayose said he was popular, but they grabbed Ekiti from him and he could do nothing. Would they grab Oyo from Makinde and Makinde would do nothing? So I'm asking Fayemi here, did they grab Ekiti from Fayose? Dr. Kayode Fayemi on State Affairs. And you blame Jonathan for that?
Well, we've moved on from that. These are my brothers now. It was Jonathan's government. He may not have been personally involved, but it couldn't have been done without him. Don't forget that Ekiti election was the prelude to the 2015 election. Ekiti and Osun election.
Yes.
And a lot transpired, which will come out in my memoirs. All manner of complicity.
You're not ready to write a memoir. You said it here.
No, I'm not ready. Not yet.
You are 61.
Exactly. So
why not write it now?
No, because the time is not due. I'm still on a journey.
Do you still want to be president?
My political journey is not ended.
You still want to be president?
I still want to serve Nigeria to
as
the best
president?
of my capacity. I want to serve Nigeria.
Now, the PDP treated you unkindly. And during Buhari's time, you stepped down as Minister of Mines.
Yes.
Did the APC treat the PDP unkindly too, for you to win?
I don't believe so. If you know President Muhammadu Buhari, the late president, you would know that he was aloof to a large extent. He never really directly intervened in any political shenanigans, and left to him. He probably would have preferred that I stayed, but because I insisted that I had unfinished business in Ekiti, he gave his blessing that I could go and try my luck. But I don't think anyone could have accused him of dealing the PDP any blow. He would not even subscribe to it. If you look at all the elections that transpired during Buhari's time, I don't think there was anything untoward about it.
Remember, the sitting governor at the time was crying.
Well,
Fayose cried.
The sitting governor at the time, everybody knows him as a dramatist.
Fayose cried.
I don't know about that, but he's a very comical person.
And he's not your friend.
He's my brother. For me, I am primarily committed to the Ekiti party, and he served the state. He did his best when he was in office. We're both out of office. We have found ourselves in common company. He's supporting my party, at least in the gubernatorial race that is coming up next week. So why should I be opposed to somebody who is supporting my party and supporting my governor?
How do politicians do it? They fight today, tomorrow, they are chummy. How?
I don't think politicians are enemies. The fact that we belong to different political persuasions should not necessarily constitute itself into enmity.
Do you see the tensions that come with elections?
Yes, but those tensions are for the moment. Because at the end of the day, what we're competing over is how to serve the people. It's public good. And it should be a marketplace of idea where contestation over my own vision of public good should be looked at vis-a-vis your own vision of the public good. More often than not, it's the followers. It is the followers.
Who instigates the followers?
I don't necessarily think anyone. For example, I talked about the 2014 episode that you referred to. If I had encouraged the APC followers to reject that election, and then it resulted in bloodletting, if I were to be that kind of politician, I would not see anything wrong in it. But I didn't want the blood of anyone on my hands. And that's why I said, look, I've called the winner of the election. I'm meeting with him. We're planning the transition. And I'm not going to court. And the tension came significantly down in the state. Don't forget, we have a history in that part of in this part of Nigeria. This is the Operation Wetie zone. This is the 83 Omoboriowo Ajashin zone. So it could have been a Fayemi bloodletting, and the houses would have been, the carnage would have ensued, the state would have been destroyed, property and life would have been lost, and then what? Over a position? I believe I was justified to have walked away from that. And I also believe they contributed significantly to the way Ekiti people saw me when I came back to say I wanted to finish the work I was doing.
Here we go!
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live. Stay tuned.
The line is open. Call on WhatsApp 080 999 18449. That was Kayode Fayemi. We had that interview in May 2026. Hello, John.
In May 2026.
Hey, John, you shouldn't do this now. I've picked your
Hello,
call.
good morning.
Yes, good morning.
This is Oisi speaking from Mashipa. Hello, John. Good morning, Edmond.
Good morning.
I'm happy hearing your voice this morning.
Thank you. Turn down your volume now. Turn down the volume of your radio.
The truth of the matter is that a lot of people misunderstood this. Okay, thank you. A lot of us I think we misunderstood the statement of the former governor of Ekiti State.
John, I will cut you off. I will cut you off. You are not turning down the volume of your radio.
It's a warning call. If you see the cloud is heavy, and you begin to hear
John, you are listening to your radio. You are not listening to me. He's listening to his radio. He's not listening to me. And I made this point. When you call, turn off your radio and make your point. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
I'm Seyi Musa. Yeah, I really appreciate your program. Now, or your politics. Let us go back in time. There was a time that Governor Seyi Makinde was a nobody PDP. And Fayose and co, they mobilized, they used their influence within the PDP then. And he was and all those that were the founding fathers of PDP in Oyo State, they were relegated to the background. So the supporter of Governor Makinde today, they will not see that. Why was they say nobody? Okay, let's fast track to 2019. Yes, Governor Makinde wouldn't have become governor without the support and influence of our referred of the land. I mean, it wouldn't have happened now. And how did it pay back? And let's even look at the Governor Makinde's treatment of whoever that has come, that has crossed his path to hate him in one thing or the other. Everywhere is littered with how he has treated the people who are helping one way or the other. So he said he's a self-made man. I don't know how a man can be a self-made man. Now, Fayose, now fast track to again how we hijack the PDP Southwest from Governor Fayose. All those things, his supporter, they are so sentimental to look at that. Dave Fayose is just nobody. Now, going forward now, you see, in Ibadan land, I beg to disagree with you. Don't drag the Yorubaland into this game now, as it is now. I beg to disagree with you. In fact, our referred Yorubaland will not be happy with you if you are saying that on the radio. But everybody is a political animal. I don't know anywhere in Nigeria or elsewhere where the throne is not part of politics somehow. But you don't come out and be talking like that. I'm sorry. You don't come out and be talking like that. You are too blunt to be dragging Olubadan like that. I mean, for this particular thing that is going on. Now, Governor Makinde, the storm is already gathering for him. Now, it remains if he has the capacity. Because somehow, when in 2019, when our Olubadan and the others, when they were with him, so everybody know how then even fast track to 2023. I mean, yes, in 2023, Governor Makinde wouldn't have made the second term, if not for his alignment with Governor Wike. He's very smart. He was very smart about that. He went with Wike, and one of the demands of Wike then was that One of them, only returning governor, was Governor Makinde. He has to return. And quote me, though he supported President Tinubu, but when it was time, to after the first election, I mean, we knew how the top echelon of APC directed everybody to work with Governor Makinde. If not that, there's no way we would have survived for landing of this one in 2023. That was basically put under the bus, as I said.
You have made your point.
The nemesis is here. If he has the capacity, let's see.
Thank you.
Threatening President Weltia will not help him. I don't know who is going to do Weltia in this regard in Oyo State.
Thank you. Thank you.
And he has played his own part, and it's now a return match.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Return match. He says, yes, the throne plays politics, but we should not say it. That's the point he's making. We shouldn't say it. That's the point. Hello. Hello.
Good morning, Headman.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, I'm Olutunji Timothy. Yeah. So this issue, I want to actually see it from two perspectives. I first on the issue of Governor Fayose and former Governor Wike. It's more of this sense of triumphanism. They always want to prove that they can control at least their basis unilaterally. And at the same time, we look at this alliance, which is more of a triumvirate alliance, as in involving three parties. The president, that is President Tinubu, then Fayose Wike, then we talk about our own Olubadan. We know that there is a fallout between our Olubadan and the governor. And obviously, it looks very well like the Olubadan is actually looking for another person to support. And we also know that Olubadan is a very close friend with the President Tinubu. And the candidate that it looks like the king is trying to support happens to be in the same party with the president. So we can now see the president actually need the support of some individual to win some zone for him, like Governor Wike winning the south for him, winning the south for him and some other places. And then if the president wouldn't mind too, if he can get the likes of Wike doing the same thing for him in this part of the country. And at the same time, why the president need them to do some of these things, the two need the president as a lifeline, just as you have said earlier on. If not for the fact that they are in close relationship with the president, many of them cannot actually, some of them cannot actually withstand the Governor Makinde. So, and that is what is actually playing out. We are having like three parties working together now for each other, some for just to win the elections and some to actually prove that they can actually control their basis. But the most important thing is it is very important that the people of Oyo State should actually look beyond any individual. That is very, very important, that they are supporting one person or not the other. I think that is not the best thing. The most important thing is they should actually consider what would be in the best interest of the state. It is only then that we can now say we have actually taken the right decision. Thank you.
Thank you, Lutunji Timothy, for calling the radio station. Now, Akala versus Alaafin. And there was Olubadan, Odugade versus Akala. Odugade versus Akala. There's Olubadan versus Seyi now. And there was Olubadan versus Abiola Ajimobi. But that Olubadan wasn't that political. In recent time, Ibadan is now having the most political Olubadan because he's a politician to the core, a former governor. He cannot shed his skin because he has become Olubadan. Let's go back into time. Alao Akala versus Alaafin. I asked Akala why. Why?
And I said, look, I had a covenant. Yes, a covenant.
A covenant with who?
With Alaafin. That I will maintain that status quo of the law I made. And that law was made by an Ibadan, my boss, Governor Lamadeshina. So I did not want to amend that law because I had a covenant with Alaafin. And I did also not want to be accused, like I said, of any bad faith. And because of what happened during the election, that I felt that it was not good for Alaafin to be campaigning publicly against me. I was okay. It wasn't a booby trap for the government, but it was a payback for Alaafin. That this is what people have been accusing me for. If I could stick my neck to do this, and you still say you are still campaigning openly for an opposition, then why can't I use my power?
So the Alaafin reneged on the agreement you had with him.
That's all. That's
it was your own time to fire back.
I did.
And you fired well.
Perhaps. So that those people who have been accusing me, maybe I can right the wrong by doing that.
The people will want to know, at what point did you fall out with the Alaafin?
I don't know. It just felt that he did not want to see me again, and it's just one of those things. And
did you threaten to kill him?
How can I kill him? What did I kill him for? What did I not?
But you heard the rumor.
I heard the rumor and I debunked it. I did not threaten to kill him. Why? If I kill him, will I become an Alaafin? Or if he kills me, the worst he can do is what he has done. How can I kill him? What is killing him for? What will I gain from killing him? I'm a man of God. I'm not joking about fearing God. It is not a joke.
Here we go.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live. Stay tuned.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Edmond. My name is join the discussion. So, first and foremost, I find it quite hard to understand Mr. Fayoshe's thought process. Because when he was governor, so when they had the election, we saw him complaining, crying that he was oppressed during the election by an opposition party. So for someone who has been in that situation before, I find it quite unreasonable that he is now clamoring for another sitting governor to face the same situation. Like, why does he even want that to happen when he's been there before and he could feel it now? He wants it to happen to someone who even is in the same party he was then. And then also, one thing I think Mr. Fayoshe is mixing up is that he's not on the same level with Governor Seyi Makinde. Mr. Fayoshe has the performance of a Nissan Micra, while Governor Seyi Makinde has the performance of a BMW. So the gap is quite wide. It's not the same. I went to uni in Ekiti State for about 4 to 5 years. And then the shift from living in Oyo State to living in Ekiti State, I could feel a massive gap. There was this in Oyo State. There's always this touch, like the presence of a governor in a state that we have in Oyo State. But in Ekiti State, it wasn't the same at all. Like Ekiti State was such, I don't want to use the word backward, but it was really, I don't want to say that, because as at 2015, 2016, we had a lot of towns, that had no access to no electricity at all for like years back. And they have a sitting governor, the road connection, everything was so terrible. And then I had classmates whose parents were civil servants. They used to complain so much about salary, pension. So even his performance was even terrible. So what is he talking about? I don't understand this obsession with Governor Seyi. The gap is very wide. And then also the last interview you played about Governor Fayemi, he spoke about winning President Buhari not really paying attention to the gubernatorial election, and then saying, I think he was trying to make it look like he won the election free and fair. That right there is quite wrong, because during that election for his first tenure, I was in Ekiti State then as a university student, and that was like the first election that I witnessed. I mean, as a teenager, someone who's able to vote. And then it was chaos. It was chaotic. That was not a free and fair election at all. It was so terrible. There were lots of votes buying. It was more like the highest bidder, and then that really affected our thinking. Because then we're in uni, we're just in maybe 200 level. Then that really affected our thinking about
All right,
elections.
Randolph.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, that's what I want to say. Really,
thank you. Hello.
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
From Igbo Road.
Ife, the ball is in your court.
Yeah, I've been in Ekiti when Fayose was there. Just like it was said.
Hello.
I can hear you, I'm with you. You can never throw them out. What it does has a personal reasons why it does these things. It is never thinking of the masses. So whatever the man is doing, he should stop disturbing your state. Because Ekiti is on fire now. I was thinking as a responsible man, you should be focused on Ekiti, not on your state. So all he's saying is a form of hatred. I don't know why you have.
Hello?
It's like me, it's not you being political. I can hear you, sir.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
So it's more like he hates someone, not like he is trying to be political. Because you should be able to state the difference between when you are being political and when you hate someone. So what he's saying, the statement coming out from him, seems like he hates Seyi Makinde. And even if you have a good ideology that you want to propose, in my friend, if you someone head of his ideology or something, I won't take your ideology, because hatred is in it. When you want to build something, don't build it on hatred. And what I see is that I think this man, Seyi Makinde, is trying to break some things free. There's something that is like a social, a cut in between them. It's like he's really trying to break free from them, or trying to make another standard that is better than what they are doing now. So I think Oyo State, whatever it is, just be focused.
All right, your line keep breaking. Your line.
For me, I think Seyi Makinde is doing the right thing.
Thank you. That line keep breaking.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay. The number to call is 080 309 18449. WhatsApp call. Hello? It's about politics. It's about history. It's about power. We've talked about the Olubadan. We've talked about Fayose. I'm looking at Makinde. I have a lot to say about Makinde, but not on this edition of State Affairs. The science of Seyi Makinde's politics.
Hello?
Hello, JK.
Yeah, well done, sir. I just want to add again that somebody will always help somebody to become a king or governor or anything. Fayose cannot say he single-handedly ran his own first election, because in his first election he ran against, in the primaries, he ran against one Chief S.K. Babalola in Ekiti State, and that primary was very, very, very awful. But Mr. President there, Obasanjo, he was not ready for him to go to court, because the president was looking at Ekiti State. He wanted to hijack Ekiti State at the federal level. So he impressed it on S.K. Babalola to go to court. Later, he just he found something for S.K. Babalola. He made him as a special advisor on education to the presidency. Then, so Fayose should not brag as if he just came single-handedly without anybody making him. Obasanjo was his father, who stood for him that they should leave him alone. Not as if Obasanjo knew him before, but he wanted him to go. He did not ready. He was not ready to ruffle shoulders with him. So that was why they left him alone. And another one is that the other time when the AG, after 1999 election, 2003, when the OBJ hijacked everybody from the southwest, it remained only the Lagos State. And who became the leader? This president who became the leader hijacked everything from Afenifere group. So he hijacked everything across the southwest. And that is it. So if Seyi Makinde is the current governor, and he's the only one, because that of Osun just joined him later. If he's the only leader leading the southwest, why is the Fayose's problem?
All right.
Or does he want? Is Fayose looking for Seyi Makinde to just put his hand at the back in his front?
Thank you.
A sitting governor will always be a sitting governor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, I was speaking with the legendary filmmaker, Tunde Kelani. I was discussing his movies with him, his films, the concept behind his films, the kind of stories he tells. I was looking at mainframe production. And in the course of the discussion, the name of the Olubadan came into the story. You see, one of the ways to identify a powerful thinker is to keenly watch what he puts his money in. Ladoja is a powerful thinker. His politics is principled. Ladoja is that politician that can stand alone to fight. So while discussing themes with Tunde Kelani, Ladoja's name popped up again. And I was saying, how? Okay. Tunde Kelani on State Affairs. You co-produced your first film with Adebayo Faliti, right?
Yes.
And it's the dilemma of Reverend Father Michael.
Yes.
What was it like working with Faleti?
No, it didn't start like that. I was in television and I realized it's almost 10 years I left the London Film School. So suddenly I realized, oh my God. So anyway, let me just start again this way. I was in television, but I was on bond for 2 years, but I left. And then I had to pay them back. So I came back and finished the 2 years. As soon as I could get out, started a company called Cinecraft, Independent Films, with my late friend, Wale Fano. And so we saved money and we bought our camera. It was the RE16BL and some lights. And then I said, it's time to make a film. Again, I went to adaptation. Idamokpa Adimika, written by Adebayo Faleti. But see, we didn't have money. We had some equipment. And till today, my skills are usually donated because I don't have to pay myself, you see. So what I could only think of is if I approach Adebayo Faleti and say, we want to make a film with this book. Let's do it together. That means we won't pay him. You see, so we done all that. But I had a partner, Wale Fano, and Adebayo Faleti had another partner, Alhaji Lasisi Oriekun, who was one of my bosses when I was in Western Nigerian Television. He was our chief cameraman, you see. So that means there are 4 of us. And then Adebayo Faleti said, if we are to do something like this, perhaps we should get Chief Yemi Farombi, that we should add Yemi Farombi, who should sort of supervise everything. So we all agreed. And then we were about to start this, but we needed a cash element, and we budgeted 85,000 naira as a cash element. And Alhaji Lasisi Oriekun said, I have a brother. Maybe we should tell him. And so he told his brother, who agreed instantly and provided 85,000 naira. And it was Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja, Kabiyesi, the Olubadan of Ibadan now. And just before we started, Chief Adebayo Faleti was appointed as director of MAMSA in Oyo State. So that means he dropped out of the project. In any case, we went ahead and shot this film. Everything went well, some success, because we had a film at the end of the day which we screened around and so on. Anyway, I discovered certain things on the way, which I learned as an experience, because if you are a motivator of something and things go wrong, you're about the only person that's always left, to carry responsibility. In any case, we are just taking this money from Kabiyesi, Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja. And at the end of the day, from our end in Lagos, the money that we had was 33,000 naira. And I wrote a check for 30,000 naira. I went to him and said, excuse sir, please take this now, because this is what I'm sure that we'll get done. We probably never recouped that investment. But something happened.
What happened?
By that time, I decided to leave my partnership and start Mainframe Productions. I had some equipment left, but it couldn't take me far. So I went back to Kabiyesi Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja and told him what I needed, what everything. And it's very interesting because he probably had studied me, I don't know, but it is history today that he wrote a check, first check, for 50,000 pounds sterling through his son in London to pay for all the equipment that I wanted to buy.
Did you say 50,000 pounds?
Sterling, yes.
At that time?
At that time.
So Ladoja has always been rich?
Of course. At that time, he was a businessman. He had ships on the ocean now.
I'm going to ask you, how come there's always Ladoja in all your movies?
No, because of that relationship. And Kabiyesi Ladoja is related to so many people like that who he has supported. And the interesting part of it is, I think we went back, to ask for more money for post-production. And Tunde Bola was the engineer who liaised with London, and we set up the first post-production semi-automatic computerized post-production equipment in Nigeria at that time. Now, what I'm saying, in effect, is that by that time, the technology has changed. By the time I started, but we approach video differently, professionally, not. That's why we're able to, make decent films. And we set out in the first place to take advantage of technology to tell our stories, primarily to promote, to conserve Yoruba cultural heritage.
Here we go!
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live. Stay tuned.
We set out in the first place to take advantage of technology to tell our stories, primarily to promote, to conserve Yoruba cultural heritage. I'm not, I've probably forgotten what we set out to do, but that was perhaps the summary of what it was.
And Yoruba heritage is so rich.
In fact, it's so vast. Once you know, we have never appreciated it. But I give Kabiyesi Olubadan because he saw what it meant. Because without his support, there probably won't be this kind of Tunde Kelani. And certainly we'll not be talking about all those films. You notice that he gave him the credit of the executive producer.
Yeah.
Yes, because he made it possible.
He made it possible?
Yes, he made it possible. But you see, we stopped when he went to politics. Because he would, if we continue, then some of them they probably be thinking that it was propaganda, but he never interfered in the creative process or any kind of story we told. But in all of this, he never asked for any money back.
Was it that he knew the power of film?
Of culture.
And he wanted the story to be told?
Well, he just supported me. He believed me. He believed that there's something about me that he felt gave him the confidence to support it.
And today, Mainframe is being celebrated.
He's Mainframe.
Ladoja is Mainframe.
He is.
And he's now Olubadan.
Oh, yes. He deserves it.
Interesting. Because I keep seeing executive producer Ladoja. So I was going to ask Tunde Kelani, when did Ladoja become a filmmaker?
He is. He's a filmmaker. He's a filmmaker and more.
And more.
You know, when our films come out, and I give him a few copies, look, he hold this film to his heart. And he boasts that we did it. This is what we did. This is what we did. You know, recently, when he became the Olubadan, designate before he became the Olubadan, and we planned that we screen Cordelia during the ceremonies. And we have planned during the planning process, I showed him the invitation card that we had designed. And when he was looking at it, he had a friend with him. And the friend thought that we needed money or support. So Annie was saying, what do they want? What do they want to Kabiyesi Ladoja? And Lawyer looked at him and showed him the invitation card and said, this is my life. That's what he said. You know, at that moment, I don't know how the man felt because he won't understand. But all along, I felt, you know, he has supported all of us, some of us.
You know, for some time, I was worried about why men of power are not looking at the power of films in changing society. That film is for development, telling the story of a people, and then translate it into material development. I didn't even know that Ladoja had been backing mainframe in a tremendous way.
Ladoja has been backing so many people in whatever they excelled in. You understand? And as to film being something, it has to, if it's not in your educational policy or cultural policy, it is meaningless. You understand? You can go through university and not even have, you know, get the point that you are just expressing.
I hope that interview with Tunde Kelani has taken you into the mind of Oba Ladoja, the Olubadan of Ibadan land. Watch out for men who bankroll film productions, especially on Yoruba history and culture. There is something about their mind. They are always men of power. They know how to deploy power for development. The Olubadan is a man of power. Seyi Makinde is a man of power. Tinubu is a man of power. The power game is on. Game on. It is Splash 105.5 FM. The Integrity Station. The program is State Affairs. I am Edmund Obilo. Stay tuned. Let's read a book. Let's read about history. Let's read about politics and power. So we'll read from Obafemi Awolowo's book, The Travails of Democracy, Taking You into Time. Now let's read from this book again. Let's go back to this book. Adventures in Power, Book 2. The Travails of Democracy and the Rule of Law. Awolowo's worries are documented here. This is one of Awolowo's autobiographies. Adventures in Power is one of his autobiographies. The Travails of Democracy. We've been reading from this book, so let's continue the reading. Now, these are some of his worries. Let's read and break it down together. Awolowo tells his own story here. So I'm reading Awolowo's story. He says, in the course of the long-drawn electioneering campaign, many atrocities and acts of intolerance were committed by the MPC, Northern People's Congress, against members of the Action Group. I will cite only 6 examples. In the first incident, an organizing secretary of the Action Group was mercilessly beaten on the orders of a Sokoto prince and abandoned as dead. The victim later recovered in the Sokoto General Hospital under the attention of an expatriate doctor. A report was made to the Native Authority Police, who turned a deaf ear, and to the Nigeria Police Force, who truly confessed their inability to take action because the area where the crime was committed, Sokoto City, was outside their jurisdiction. So what can you take from here? During that period, there was a federal police known as the Nigeria Police Force. And there was the Native Authority Police. So I want you to take note of that. You know, today Nigeria is clamoring for state police. Before independence, they were regional police. And they were federal police. Now, when a member of the Action Group was beaten up to stupor because Awolowo dared the Southerner to come and campaign in the north, the Action Group reported the matter to the Native Authority Police, controlled by Ahmadu Bello. The Native Authority Police did not act on that complaint. And the Action Group now went to the Nigeria Police to report. And the Nigeria Police truly confessed their inability to take action because the area where the crime was committed, Sokoto City, was outside their jurisdiction. You see? And that was a proper federal system until it became somewhat a unitary system. So that's one point I just want you to take note of. And you'll find that, I'm reading from page 3 of our book now. He said, Mr. Tani, who led the Action Group team of lawyers posted to Sokoto province, was instructed by the Action Group to institute private prosecution. He did, and the prince involved was convicted by an expatriate magistrate and sentenced to 2 years imprisonment with hard labor. The prince appealed to the High Court and was in the interim granted bail. In due course, the appeal was heard and dismissed. In connection with that first incident, the expatriate magistrate who tried the case in the first instance and the expatriate doctor who testified to the condition of the victim when he was brought to the hospital for treatment left Nigeria for good within a month or so of the conviction and sentence of the culprit. The High Court judge, Sir Aganon Brown, who heard the appeal and dismissed the appeal of the Sokoto prince, committed suicide by shooting himself, also within a fortnight of his adjudication of the appeal. So how? What happened? Did he commit suicide or he was assassinated? It is Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. The program is State Affairs. I am Edmund Obilo. You see, this political struggle has transformed Makinde from a defendant, a man on the back foot defending his state against Fayose. It has turned Makinde into a strategic insurgent with a national, almost messianic mission. How far can he go? If Fayose is the scorned lion and Obaladoja is the sacred king, then Makinde is the revolutionary spear aimed at the heart of the incumbent president, Bola Tinubu. Take note. This is no longer a local grudge match. It is a proxy war for the soul of the Southwest and the future of the Nigerian presidency. Are you there? If Fayose is the scorned lion and Obaladoja is the sacred king, then Makinde is the revolutionary spear aimed at the heart of the incumbent president, Bola Tinubu. This is no longer a local grudge match. It is a proxy war for the soul of the Southwest and the future of the Nigerian presidency. The line is open. Make your point. 080-309-18449. 080-309-18449. Remember, if you call, there will be delay. Especially if you are listening on your transistor radio, there will be delay because I'm broadcasting through the internet. So once you call, look at your phone. Once your phone begins to read, that means you are on. You turn down the volume. Don't use your radio to monitor. There will be delay. I hope you understand. There will be delay. Baba, you are calling my personal number, but because you are Baba, I will pick your call. Hello, Chief Bolaniwa. Hello. Baba, I can't hear you. All right. I will give that concession to Baba. Don't call my personal number. Call the number I give you on air. But I'll give that opportunity to Chief Bolaniwa. I know he has been trying to call. His voice have not been heard for some time.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, this is Lucky calling from Norwich, United Kingdom.
Happy to hear your voice.
Thank you, Mr. Ebon. I appreciate what you're doing. I just want to. I've been your student for some time now, and I've noticed the argument. It's a dangerous path we are treading, trying to drag Kabiyesi into politics. I think it is our duty to call these people to order. You see, like yesterday, funny enough, yesterday you were talking about what led to the northern people dealing with Chief Awolowo, that he raided the Sultan of Sokoto Palace with leaflet.
We don't want to go back to those days. Let's learn from history. Let Seyi and Fayose play their politics. Those days are just gone. Are you still there?
I'm with you.
Yeah, those days of the traditional ruler getting involved, it might be political. But after ascending that throne, I don't think it needs to be political. It needs to be a father to all. It needs to be a father to all. That's just my contribution. And I pray God will turn our country around for good. God will bless our country. God will bless our president. God will bless Seyi Makinde. And may Kabiyesi reign long in Jesus' mighty name. That's my prayer for the country. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining the discourse. Hello, good morning.
Hello. Yeah, good morning, Edmond Obido.
I can hear
Hello,
you.
good morning.
I can hear you.
Yeah, good morning, Edmond Obido. Yeah, this is Akim Adetoye Sheshola speaking from Ibadan.
Good to hear your voice.
Let me quickly talk about the topic in the class today, about the viruses outburst against Seyi Makinde. I think we need to properly dissect the politics between Fayose and Seyi Makinde since 2015. I could vividly remember when Seyi Makinde supported Fayose financially and otherwise for Fayose to win back the second time. And also, during this time, I believe Fayose must have studied Seyi Makinde and know that he's not only cool in face, but deadly politically. So when Fayose said that he had come together with our referred king to defeat Seyi Makinde, I think they must have studied their political arsenal very well, because if you look at the way Seyi Makinde has been operating since, most especially after his second term, he has always been practical politically about his movement. I am not in his party. I don't know how he thinks. I don't know. I only study his political tactics. And I think we need to also know that 2027 is going to be an interesting political year. Because if you look at the candidates Seyi Makinde chose for APM, so to speak, is more or less APC. And if you look at the deputy governorship candidate too, it's more or less APC. So you should be able to know that I think Seyi Makinde is also ready for the battle that Fayose has said. And we need to also know that it's going to be very, very interesting. As regards Rashid Ladoja, Kabiyesi, there is no way in politics, there is no way you can study the throne without studying the personality that occupies the throne. There is no way that the politics can be separated from Baba Ladoja. Because Baba Ladoja has always been a politician, even right from the MK Abiola days and so on and so forth. So, for someone to now say that you are very blunt in saying it, there is no way, there is no shortcut to say the truth. You cannot remove the politics from Baba Ladoja. That is my take.
Thank you, Adetoye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Join the discourse. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, my name is Shidi.
Good to hear your
I want
voice.
to learn my voice on what the topic is this morning. The truth of the matter is that there's no how anybody can say Ladoja is out of politics in Oyo State. The handwriting is very clear, and if he wants to do himself good, I believe, I'm suggesting, and I'm also advising him to keep out of politics. Because if there is a way Seyi Makinde eventually win Oyo State, the traditional story in Oyo State will not remain the same. Thank you.
What will Seyi Makinde do? The position of Olubadan is not threatened in any way. I don't think Makinde would threaten that position. The position of the Olubadan is not threatened. It should not be threatened at all. Nobody should even think in that line. It is healthy. You know, we pretend a lot. We want to be politically correct. It is healthy. It is healthy. Even Edmond Obilo, I have my political position. It is healthy. He's still our father. Hello, good morning.
This is Olawale actually calling from.
Are you using hands-free?
No.
All right, you're not loud enough. Okay, make your point.
Okay, good morning. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I've been listening to your program for a very long time, since I moved to Ibadan 2017, and this is my first time calling into you. Well, concerning the politics of Oyo State, the game is the game. The president, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, could thoroughly feel threatened by Governor Seyi Makinde's intention of becoming president of Nigeria, because definitely you'll be thinking that the governor of the state may take part of his votes in Oyo State. Just the same way the governor is also looking at Amzat. So the game is the game. Everyone is just of politics. Seyi Makinde wants to also be relevant. Seyi Makinde wants to be relevant after his reign as governor of Oyo State. So the game is the game, and those are saying the former governor of Ekiti State, Fayose, does not know what he's talking about. He definitely knows what he's talking about. We have known him to be dramatic all the while. But like I said, the game, everyone is trying to play the game of politics. And the only thing that we should know as people, these people, what they are doing is for their own benefits. Governor Seyi Makinde, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and everyone involved, everything they are doing is mainly for their pockets and their stomach. The people's interest is not in their hearts. God bless you, sir.
Thank you for joining the discourse. Join the discourse. Hello.
Thank you for joining the Hello? Join the discourse.
You know, once I hear my voice in your radio, on your radio, I'll cut you off. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, the radio man.
I greet you.
Yeah, this is Adekola Adegoke. Adekola Adegoke is on the line.
Is it the same Kola Adegoke I know?
Yes.
Okay, make your point.
See, the Olubadan Fayose issue of a team is beyond what we hear on radio. It's something personal to them that they don't want to reveal to us. So they are only really some things we don't expect. But what is happening between the Olubadan and Fayose is something they don't want to reveal to the public. It's personal. So that's my opinion.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'll take two more calls as I prepare to round off. It is Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. It's about history. It's about politics. It's about power.
I am in pain. I am in severe pain. I can't touch this neck anymore. If anything happens to me, the Inspector General of Police should be held accountable.
Here we go.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live. Stay tuned. State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live. Stay tuned.
Deji Yesufu is on the line. Hello, Deji.
Yeah, good morning, Edmond.
Good morning.
So I'm more concerned with the quality of mind of the average Nigerian. And this is where I want to take it from. It appears you spend about, let's say, 10% or probably even 20% of your time educating callers on what to do, how to call. I mean, it just shows that there is something wrong with the average Nigerian mind. And if the average Nigerian mind is like this, it cannot be educated. What happens to our politicians? Because at this time in our political life, we should not be talking about Ayo Fayose at all. He should not even be in the public space. But those are the kind of minds we're dealing with. So that is where the challenge is. Now, this is where there is hope. I do not know whether you have been able to visit University of Ibadan recently. The kind of young people we are producing, they are first-class A students. I predict in another 10 years, a lot of these old people with their old-fashioned minds are going to be taken away. And I'm hoping that very soon, bright minds will take over our politics. I am seeing a great future for us. But for now, it's not encouraging. That's what I want to talk about, sir.
Thank you, Deji. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. So let me make this final point as I round off. Tinubu. Okay. Look at this. Makinde has refused to be intimidated. Tinubu has not been able to intimidate him. The Makinde I see is ready to fight alone. By saying this, I perhaps elevate Makinde from a politician to a tragic hero. Take note of the word tragic. A man who knows the absurdity of his solitary fight but chooses to rebel anyway. Such a man is deadly. Makinde is no longer just a governor. He is a node of resistance against Tinubu. Makinde is the brave warrior celebrated not for his victory, but for his willingness to stand alone against the tide. See, that is a deadly man. Makinde is the only credible counterweight to the presidency in the Southwest. This gives Makinde a strategic advantage, the attention of the center. A governor who is watched by the president is a governor who cannot easily be crushed by local thugs. Thugs will come, politicians will come, traditional kings will come, but any overt move against him will be interpreted as a conspiracy. Makinde has successfully nationalized this local crisis making himself too hot to handle. Remember, Tinubu has long positioned himself as the political father of the Southwest, the grand custodian of Yoruba interest at the federal level. For a Yoruba governor to become a weapon against him is an act of rebellion. It breaks the illusion of a monolithic Yoruba political bloc. Makinde is saying, the father has failed, the son must rise. Makinde is saying, the father has failed, the son must rise. By pitting himself against Tinubu, Makinde makes the point that in a country weary of the current administration, Makinde himself becomes the voice of the new generation, untainted by the Lagos cabals that surround Tinubu. They've tried to suck him in. He has refused. Every enemy of Tinubu in the Southwest, from aggrieved PDP elders to disenchanted APC members, they now have a natural rallying point in Makinde. This is the fight. I will tell you more as the game heats up. Game on. Let's fight. Power game. Who wants to join the fight? I am Edmond Obilo. It is Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. The radio man is signing out. The next program is Bangba Lashata with Abiodun Adewale. I worked with Bosun Alayode to bring you this edition of State Affairs. Next week is another time. Thank you for being there.